Community Mindfulness is a weekly 20-minute videocast of guided mindfulness practice. I'm the volunteer leader, Andrea Marion, yoga and mindfulness teacher since 2004. I live and work in Burlington, Vermont. So how does community mindfulness work? Well, you sit quietly and do very little, actually. Follow the suggestions that I give or practice what feels comfortable to you. A focus on the breathing or notice thoughts and let them go. In this non-doing, a natural receptive capacity for awareness and joy arises, however subtle or small. We start to notice that it feels good to be in the present, connected to what's happening. With practice, it's like blowing on a small flame. Mindfulness in everyday living gets stronger and stronger, and we are lucky to have this capacity that builds and supports safety, freedom, peacefulness, and well-being for ourselves and others. There's a sweetness, joy, and beauty in the moment. So let's begin. So we'll begin community mindfulness this week with a practice of tapping into a love that has no object. So settle in and adjust your posture as if your posture can support you in tapping into our practice tonight. And a way that posture could do this is with relaxation and attention. So with relaxed attention, you can reach down through your seat and through your legs and into your feet, into the floor, or wherever they are touching. And up through the spine, you can gather some attention, a gathering of yourself together in place, a readiness, as we talked about last week, a readiness to catch the moment, just a readiness to be here. So take a few breaths and notice your posture, specifically roundedness through the seat as you inhale, and length and spaciousness through the spine as you exhale. And you can begin to unify, pull together, gather your attention, intention with this beginning part of the practice to let all other outside sensory experiences be just that, at the outside edge of your awareness. And your focus is inhale into groundedness and exhale into spaciousness. Very good. And not surprisingly, the breath is the pathway to this love that has no object. The breath in its innocence and prevalence begin to notice it either specifically at the tip of the nose or with the chest rising or the belly rising. And then the tip of the nose on the exhale and the chest and the belly falling. You can pick one of those physical points to direct your attention to the breath. Notice that despite challenges in one's own life or in the collective life of all others, and there are challenges, but there may be just a slight bit of pleasure, well-being, or that sense of love, contentment, or security that arises just from paying attention to the breath, just from becoming still, just from taking a break from everyday duties, responsibilities, joys, or concerns. But the breath and its softness has the ability to melt any resistance we have, any barriers we have up to this field of love that exists around us, within us, and in all beings, in all things, in all no things. And we can ride our breath to the door of this love that has no object, just because. Just stay with it. The gentle and sureness of the inhale, the gentleness and sureness of the exhale, and the peace that each of those is half of. Very good. And then turn your attention to your thinking mind, the thoughts you hear in your mind. And often when we turn our attention to them, they sort of immediately cease. And you can call that rest. And they may begin to arise again, a stream of thoughts or one thought at a time. And imagine as if you were in the audience watching a play of these thoughts. Just noticing, curious where they're going to go. You're not driving them. You're not following them. And the backdrop, the scenery, is this love with no object, however that may appear to you. The thoughts are occurring, and still, in a very real way, there is this field of love. As if it was the scenery to a play you are watching. So you're using auditory thought to hear thought. You may see pictures of what the thought represents. That's visual thought. And more in a feeling sense, but possibly an auditory image of mist or nature or light. There's the scenery, the field of love. So that you know and can gain confidence and skill that with and despite and in tandem to thought, coexisting is this field of love that has no object. And you may become disinterested in the thought and want to just sit in this field of love that has no object. A wide open space that's warm, comfortable, and contented for absolutely no reason at all. And then allow the thought to arise that you are inhabiting this field of love. And so is everyone on our mindfulness Zoom tonight. So we are in good company. And there may be a little increase in the pleasure or joy that comes from that shared experience. And then expand that so that your communities, your actual community and the various communities you belong to, also inhabit that field of love. This kind of love doesn't have to fix anything or complete anything. It just is. It's suffusive in its own loveness and loveliness. And then share or join in this field that exists in your region. It could be the state. Sometimes I think of everywhere that snow falls in the winter in this country. So there aren't actual sort of boundaries to it, but just everywhere that snow falls in the regions around me, all share this field of love. And it's so nice that your mind, which likes details and organizations and answers, doesn't have to find a provenance for this love. It can just rest in its beingness. There's no reason for it other than its existence itself. And then you can take this field of love that appears for everyone within the Americas, continents of the Americas, our neighbors, and ourselves. And then this field of love can encompass the entire earth. Just because. And there may be a sense of stillness and peace and equanimity that starts to replace the initial pleasure you found in this, as if the pleasure is not even needed, as if the stillness and peace and no push, no pull is actually enough as appreciation for this love. And then you can take it further into the universe or space or all that is, however that occurs to you as a field of love. And maybe the quality of emotion again shifts to a great sense of openness, a great sense of connectedness. And enjoy that free floating openness for a few more breaths. Knowing that if you get distracted and start to think of concrete, discrete things in your mind, you can set those concrete discreteness aside to the periphery of awareness and be in a great, open, spacious place. And from this open spaciousness, I'll count back from 5 and we'll come in on a cloud. This time, imagine yourself on a cloud in this great open spaciousness. And as you float on this cloud from 5 to 1, the cloud, you'll eventually at 1 step off the cloud and back into your place in your room, in your home. We can open our eyes and finish practice. So starting with 5, floating nicely in a great openness on a beautiful cloud. 4, floating along, coming closer. 3, approaching your home or where you're practicing. 2, being able to see from the cloud yourself in your seat 1, stepping from the cloud to settle into your seat and opening your eyes to finish your practice and move a little bit. Thank you for joining us, and tune in for Community Mindfulness session again. If you need or would like information on the live practice on Zoom each week, please email Andrea Marion 193@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone.